You don't need to do that traditional of work 9 to 5, come home, make dinner, do chores, do this, do that, and then we gotta get up the next day and do the same exact thing, and then we only have a 2-week break, and that's our big vacation, and that's the only time that we have to have fun. No, we could try to kind of distribute everything throughout and have fun each day and have it each week as well. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So if you're new here, every single week we talk about more ways that you could kill every single day and how you could be more productive, more organized, and essentially just a better version of yourself. So if that interests you, stay tuned and also make sure that you give it a subscribe. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is how you can have a better work-life balance. Because I know sometimes we feel like all we do 24 hours of 7 days a week is work, but we need to have a little bit more of a balance. So I like to call that work hard, play hard. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about throughout this video. All right, so the very first step that we could do is waking up earlier. I know none of us want to do it, and if you struggle on it, I do have a video up above that could kind of help out with that, but it really helps kind of set the tone for the day, because if you wake up earlier, well, logically you have more time in the day to get things done, therefore you could balance your time better. We're going to talk about like time management and stuff like that a little bit later, but it really helps with that time management. Also, then your work day doesn't really encroach on your evening, which could be like me time, and you could relax a little bit then. Tip number 2 is do not multitask. The reason why multitasking is not good is because it meshes your work and life, I guess you could say, for that work-life balance. It meshes that together, which then makes you feel like you don't have a balance. So if, let's say, you're working and you pull out your phone and play on your phone, or while you're working you try to make a personal phone call, or you kind of mesh those two things together, then it starts to blend that line of work and life. And you have a harder time like separating those two. So I really encourage you to, like I said before, work hard, play hard. Really work hard during the day, so then you could set that time and say, okay, this is when I end work and this is when I start kind of having me time or having alone time or family time or whatever you consider to be that fun thing that separates for your work-life balance. Now with working hard, I also suggest having a hobby, because the worst thing is working really hard, coming home and feeling you got like a million things to do, chores, things that, and we'll actually get to that later, but having like a bunch of chores and a whole bunch of things to do, and then feel like you never got that you time. You never got that time to kind of release and relax, and then the next day is back up and back at work. So now you feel like you didn't have that time to relax, so now the next day is so much more strenuous from that point forward. Well, that's why I suggest having a hobby. Because let's say you enjoy, I don't know, painting or something, and every day when you come home you have a little glass of wine, you have some dinner, and you sit down and you start like doodling, you start painting something. That's going to make you feel more relaxed and more reset to then tackle the next day, and it's going to make you feel like you have that work-life balance, because now the life is a little bit more balanced out and we don't just work all day long. With that like hobby idea is also make sure you really enjoy your nights, free time, weekends, vacations too. Take some time. Don't feel guilty for taking like a 2-week vacation or a week vacation, maybe like twice a year, spreading it out a little bit so it's a little bit more balanced too. Or maybe just taking a couple longer weekends. Let's say you have like 14 personal days at work or vacation days at work. Instead of saying, oh, I'm going to take a 14-day vacation and just put it back to back and have that be your reset, think about balance. Balance means not just working all year and then having a vacation. It might mean taking every single Friday off for the summer. Now, every single like summer Friday, you have a 3-day weekend. Now that makes it a little bit more balanced. Or every 3rd week or every 2 weeks, I'm going to take a 3-day weekend. Now that'll help you reset a little bit more rather than just taking those 14 days at a time. Now obviously it depends on where you work, what's your business and stuff like that. It might not allow for that, but it's definitely something to just start thinking about, that we don't need to do that traditional of work 9 to 5, come home, make dinner, do chores, do this, do that, and then we got to get up the next day and do the same exact thing, and then we only have a 2-week break, and that's our big vacation, and that's the only time that we have to have fun. No, we could try to kind of distribute everything throughout and have fun each day and have it each week as well. Now, one other thing with that, like relaxing and free time, is don't feel bad to actually designate actual free time where you literally just take a nap or sit on the couch. Like if you have free time, sometimes people think like, okay, and someone texts them and they say, hey, can you hang out this day? You're like, oh, well, I'm free, I gotta say yes. Don't feel obligated to say yes all the time. Now, if you want to, that's a completely different story, and pack up your days if that's what you really enjoy doing in your free time. But it's okay to have free time just for yourself, just to kind of wind down and relax. Now, with designating that like free time, you also want to kind of time manage your whole entire day as well as whole entire week, because that's going to help out a lot more. I'm going to just kind of do a brief introduction of this, but if you want a kind of more elongated video on time management, I will post one up here. But basically with time management, you want to give yourself a start time and an end time to your work day. This is something that is maybe easier if you work for a company and you have a certain shift. But if you're an entrepreneur, you work from home, sometimes this could be a little bit more challenging. So make sure that you set that start time and make sure that you set that end time. So if you say, I'm going to do 9 to 5, then at 5, you put your computer away, you put whatever away, and then you start having like you time or me time at the end of the day. Also with that time management, I really like to front load my weeks. Obviously, you can't always do this if you work for a company and they give you certain things that you need to do every single day, but you could do this in your personal life too. So what I mean by front load is put all the things that you don't want to do or that are more strenuous at the beginning of the week. So for me, I work with a bunch of clients, and I'll put the clients that are harder to work with, or I'll put the clients that I might need to spend extra time on, or I might just put more clients at the beginning of the week. So then Friday is a more relaxed day. Even Thursday, it kind of weans down as the week goes. And the reason to do this is because towards the end of the week, we start feeling more burnt out. So if we front load, and then as we start feeling more burnt out, we lessen our workload, then that's gonna help us feel like that work-life balance is a little bit more managed. So when we think about this like work-life balance, as I was saying before, we think like, oh, let's just take a 2-week vacation and then work all year. But that same thought process is what you want to think of like every week. Because let's say you work Monday through Friday, and then you have 2 days off. Sometimes it's hard to get into that Monday groove because you had 2 days completely off. So personally, what I like to do is I like to work almost every single day of the week. Typically, Sunday, I like to relax and give myself a little bit of less work and maybe just do like a little bit more chores and things to kind of get ready for the week. But every single day, I do a little bit of work. I meet with a couple clients on Saturday, and then that lessens the load for the rest of the week. So then I could have that work schedule, and then I could relax maybe midday or relax at the end of the day, whatever way that you manage your time, whatever way you want to structure it. So really working every single day gives you a little bit more balance rather than just work, 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 and then have 2 days off. Work, 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 2 days off, and so on and so forth. So kind of managing it that way could help out too, right? So our next one is managing your chores better, because sometimes we feel like when we come home from work, then we gotta make dinner, we got to go food shopping, we gotta take out the dog, we gotta do so many of these things that then it encroaches into our free time or our me time. So how can we go about that? We'll start either outsourcing things or try and limit those chores. So becoming a little bit more minimalist and having less things in your house then allows you to not have to clean up as much. Or even if you can afford it, maybe hiring someone to come in and just cleaning some things. Or even things like groceries, using online delivery, because you could do that while you're sitting on the couch having you time, just like relaxing, scrolling, and just picking a couple items. Or there's even grocery deliveries. If you have the same exact things that you buy each week they could deliver the same exact things, so you don't even need to go on, and it's just kind of this automated system. So once you start automating things in your life and making it a little bit more simplified, then you could have less chores to do. If you have less choice to do, then the time that you have outside of work will then help kind of streamline that process and give yourself a little bit more of that work-life balance as well. So our last tip, which might seem a little cliche, but it's do what you love. And if you do what you love at work, then that work-life balance is going to be a little bit more balanced, because at work, you're not going to feel so overwhelmed because you're going to be enjoying every moment of every day. So You might not know what you want to do, or you might need to do a little bit of research or jump around. And I heard this one thing where I asked someone, how do you know that you're doing something that you love? And he said, I simply just did everything that I didn't love. I tried this job, realized I didn't like that. So switched over and tried another job, realized I didn't like that, until he found his passion, until he found what he really wanted to do. So really just trying to sift around, seeing what you enjoy and seeing what you love to do, that could really help manage that work-life balance as well. So with that, hopefully you guys got something away from this video. Hopefully your work-life balance becomes a little bit more structured, and I have a couple other kind of work business related videos, so I'm going to link them over here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye guys.